Hey y'all, Nova here. The finals released last night, and with it we got a banger of a patch. We got released patch notes 1.2.0. And yeah, starting off with content updates, we have new ways to express yourself in the arena, such as reload and inspect animations, emoticons, gestures, pets, sounds, watches, and more. Sounded great. We got a Season 1 Battle Pass, which honestly seems like a pretty good deal. It's $10, and it seems like you can make back what you spent on it, so you can get the next Battle Pass, as was the norm with Fortnite when it started off, stuff like that. They also added progression per weapon, per gadget, and per ability. For the weapons and gadgets, you get new skins. I'm not sure what you get for the abilities when you level up. For new features, they added a new map, Las Vegas. This is a banger of a map. I absolutely love playing on it. It looks awesome. The map design seems pretty solid. I haven't played on it enough to know for sure, but it definitely seems like a great map, and they obviously put a lot of love into it as well. So for new map variants, they added a sandstorm variant, which is, again, I got the chance to play it yesterday. Ton of fun, very cool. You're basically in a sandstorm. It's covered in sand, and yeah, stuff is falling apart. So they have tripwires and turrets in Las Vegas. I actually haven't ran into any of these, but I'd assume they're there somewhere. There's also a new event, which is Alien Invasion. I have not had the pleasure of seeing this yet, but I'm sure it's absolutely great. Next, movement. There has been a whole fiasco with people basically saying that the movement feels worse than the beta and that it seems like it's going slower. Basically, the devs said in Discord that they haven't actually changed anything with movement, so it shouldn't feel this way, but they are looking into it to see if there's anything that they might have missed. A big culprit of this is your base FOV is usually set to 70, and if you turn that up to 100, it'll make you look like you're going faster. A lot of people will notice this phenomenon first when they start playing Minecraft. If you turn your FOV up like to the max setting, it'll look like you're going way faster than when you had your FOV lower, even though you're going the same speed. So if the movement feels slow to you, make sure your FOV is turned up all the way. Hopefully that'll help. Even so, they made multiple updates to vaulting responsiveness, which so far vaulting has felt wonderful. They updated various first-person animations to better sync with footsteps. There were improvements to syncing and stability when players are moving on surfaces such as elevators, skylifts, etc. They improved speed matching and added in-air animations when coining other contestants. And then there was general polish updates to third-person locomotion. For combat animations, they stabilized the camera for aim down sights, reloads, and bolt actions, making it easier to track targets, which is great. Updated jumping and zipline animations when aiming down sights. Added third-person reaction animations for flashbangs, gas, and fire, making it look more realistic. Also should make it so that you can tell when someone is flashbanged, which is definitely a good change. Hopefully that's clear. And then they reworked the animations for the charge and slam specialization. Controller, I don't play on controller, just so you know, I'm on PC, but still important changes nonetheless. For general, they added sensitivity scaling based on zoom FOV. Aim assistance, they added better support and various improvements for sensitivity damping on targets, and they updated the default aim down sights sensitivity reduction. They also reduced zoom snapping active duration. On controller vibration, they added settings. I'd assume that's probably to turn it off, though I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's to turn it on. I know, like when I'm playing competitive game, I would not want a controller vibration to be turned on. For controller settings, they added a setting that allows players to further customize their controller experience. That's not very specific. And then they added separate dead zones for different analog sticks. That's probably a good change. Usually more settings means better control over your game. And usually those are good changes. Again, I can't say too much. You'll have to tell me in the comments below whether the controller feels good, but hopefully it does. And you know, if you're a computer player and you don't want to play against people with aim assist, you can always turn off crossplay. For our maps, they added the wrecking ball back to all the maps. Check for the cranes. On Monaco, they improved the readability of the map border, and on Skyway Stadium, they added a new evening environment condition. Specializations, charge and slam, they updated the damage of ground slam so that it will break floors and buildings more consistently. Great change there. Consistency is key, especially in competitive games. For the cloaking device, they rebalanced fade in and out durations to make it harder to vanish mid-combat, and they also added a fade in / out visual effect. I've been using the cloaking device a lot. It's really fun with the sword on the light class. I actually haven't seen anyone else use it yet in my games. Maybe one or two, but I really haven't gotten to see the fade in / out visual effect too much, but I'm sure it looks great. With the grapple hook, they fixed a bug where players could become stuck when grappling during a vault, and recon senses got nerfed. They reduced the total fuel, shortening the max duration. They also fixed an issue where recon senses would trigger on enemy statues. Weapons, these are the important changes, probably what most people came here looking for. General, they updated bullet dispersion systems on all weapons when aiming down sights. It's not actually clear what that means. Could make it worse, could make it better, they didn't say. They fixed various issues where weapons could fire infinitely or not at all. They fixed an issue where gadgets could become stuck in infinite cooldown, and they added a new hit marker to crosshairs for damage over time effects. The new hit marker seems good. I've been using the gas mine a lot, so seems like a good hit marker to me. Fixing issues like these, very important, good to see as well. For the AKM, it got a nerf. They updated the recoil pattern, making it slightly less easy to control. The FCAR, they also updated the recoil pattern, making it slightly easier to control. So FCAR is slightly better, AKM slightly worse. I've been using the FCAR, it feels great. Definitely try it out if you haven't. I love the sight on it as well, very clean. For the flamethrower, they fixed a bug where the flamethrower could be fired without consuming ammo. The max range was reduced by 60 centimeters. The fire rate was reduced to 160 RPM from 180 RPM. They adjusted the flamethrower impact effects to make them less blinding for the target player. And they reduced the damage from 28 from 31. So pretty much nerfs all around for the flamethrower. And I haven't used it myself, but from what I've heard, it's pretty dog shit now. That's what people have been saying. I can't confirm it myself, haven't used it, but that's just what I've heard. So maybe unlock some other weapons first before unlocking the flamethrower. Just my 2 cents on that. On the Lewis gun, they updated the recoil pattern, making it slightly easier to control. So slight buff to the Lewis gun. For the LH1, they increased the bullet dispersion when firing from the hip. So less accurate when you're firing from the hip. They updated the recoil pattern, making the weapon easier to control. So that I wonder if those two like cancel out each other. Honestly, hard to say. And then the fire rate was reduced from to 300 RPM from 400 RPM. That's a pretty big percent change. I mean, that's 25% change from 400. And then they increased the LH1 damage from 41, or they increased it from 41 to 45. Big buff to damage. Fire rate reduced. Just means that you need to be more accurate when using this gun. It may be a slight nerf overall. I'm not 100% sure. You'd have to do the math on the total HP and then like how many shots it takes to kill, which I have not done. So for the M60, they updated the recoil pattern, making it slightly less easy to control. So M60 nerf. Riot shield fixed an issue where the riot shield could block bullets while the player was emoting. Pretty niche, probably not too important. For throwing knives, they introduced the throwing knives to the light archetype. I have not unlocked them myself. Shroud did. I watched some gameplay of him using them. They look pretty cool and the sound design's awesome. They didn't seem too strong, but they did look cool, so try them out if you want to. V9S got nerfs across the board. Magazine size was reduced to 20 from 24. They updated the recoil pattern, making the weapon less easy to control, and they increased damage fall off to make the weapon less effective at long range. From what I've heard, they really increased the damage fall off, so you have to be nice and up close to someone, almost kissing them for the V9S to be effective. Something to keep in mind, again, nerfs across the board on the V9S. Gadgets, in general, they fixed an issue where gadgets could become stuck in an infinite cooldown. I already went over that up above. C4, they increased the health from 5 to 25. Defibs, they added the ability for defibs to damage enemy players. They will do 50 damage and enter cooldown if they land a successful hit. It's actually a lot of damage. The gas mine added a trigger audio effect. Glitch grenade, fuse time was increased from 1.1 to 1.8, giving it more range. Sounds good to me. Night vision, they removed night vision from the game to be reworked in a future update. The sonar grenade radius was reduced from 17.5 meters to 10 meters. That's a huge reduction in radius, and especially area, because the radius of a circle is pi r squared. So the radius would be squared, so that's actually a huge change in how much area the sonar grenade covers. So huge nerf, huge nerf to the sonar grenade. And they updated the crosshair hit marker that appears when the sonar grenade detects targets. That's probably the new crosshair hit marker that they were talking about. For the stun gun, they removed sensitivity reduction from stun players, so a slight nerf, and they added the glitch effect to stun players, so a buff on the other side, rendering their specialization and gadgets unusable for a short time. Tactical breach, they increased the health from 5 to 25. Vanishing bomb, they introduced vanishing bomb gadgets to the light archetype, and the zipline, they added the line break effect to ziplines. So that brings us to the end of these patch notes. Again, absolutely banger, lots of changes, looking great. Really think they're doing a good job with their updates. I don't think a clear meta has really emerged yet on what the best things are, and hopefully they keep it fresh, and if something's too strong, they keep nerfing it or buffing other things to keep it in line. Overall, I think it was a great patch, and I'm excited to see what they come out with in the future. The servers were a bit rough on launch, but they really opened them up, and honestly, it was like 30 minutes after launch that it felt like all the lag was gone, and it was running great. So definitely, if you haven't tried it out, definitely try out the finals. Been having a blast playing it. Yeah, let me know if you're enjoying the game in the comments below. If you want future updates, I'll be covering all of them. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And yeah, I hope you'll have a wonderful day. Good luck in your matches this week, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, all.